The second book of Adam and Eve, chapter 20, verse 15. Meanwhile, the children of Seth, who were on the holy mountain, prayed and praised God in the place of the hosts of angels who had fallen. Wherefore God had called them angels, because he rejoiced over them greatly. But after this, they no longer kept his commandment, nor held by the promises he had made to their fathers. But they relaxed from their fasting and praying, and from the counsel of Yard their father. And they kept on gathering together at the top of the mountain to look upon the children of Cain from morning until evening, and upon what they did, upon their beautiful dresses and ornaments. Then the children of Cain looked up from below and saw the children of Seth standing in troops on the top of the mountain. And they called to them to come down to them. But the children of Seth said to them from above, We don't know the way. Then Ganun, the son of Lamech, heard them, and said they did not know the way. And he bethought himself how he might bring them down. Then Satan appeared to him by night, saying, There is no way for them to come down from the mountain on which they dwell. But when they come tomorrow, say to them, Come ye to the western side of the mountain, that you will find the way of a stream of water that comes down from the foot of the mountain between two hills. Come down that way to us. Then when it was day, Ganun blew the horns and beat the drums below the mountain as he was wont. The children of Seth heard it and came as they used to do. Then Ganun said to them from down below, Go to the western side of the mountain. There you will find the way to come down. But when the children of Seth heard these words from him, they went back into the cave to Yard to tell him all they had heard. Then, when Yard heard it, he was grieved, for he knew that they would transgress his counsel. And after this, 100 men of the children of Seth gathered together, and said among themselves, Come, let us go down to the children of Cain, and see what they used to do, and enjoy ourselves with them. But when Yard heard this of the 100 men, his very soul was moved, and his heart was grieved. He then arose with great fervor, and stood in the midst of them, and abjured them by the blood of Habel the just. Let not one of you go down from this holy and pure mountain, in which our fathers have ordered us to dwell. But when Yard saw that they did not receive his words, he said unto them, O my good and innocent and holy children, know that when once you go down from this holy mountain, God will not allow you to return again to it. He then adjured them, saying, I adjure thee by the death of our father Adam, by the blood of Habel, of Seth, and of Enos, of Canaan, and of Mahalalel, to hearken to me, not to go from this holy mountain. For the moment you leave it, you will be reft of life and of mercy, and ye shall no longer be called children of God, but children of the devil. So, same metaphor. But they would not hearken to his words. Enoch at that time was already grown up, and in his zeal for God he arose and said, Hear me, O ye sons of Seth, small and great. When ye transgress the commandment of our fathers, and go down from this holy mountain, ye shall not come up hither again forever. But they rose up against Enoch, and would not hearken to his words, and went down from the holy mountain. And when they looked at the daughters of Cain, at their beautiful figures, and at their hands and feet, dyed with color, and tattooed in ornaments on their faces, the fire of sin was kindled in them. Well, couldn't they have approached them for something other than sin? Then Satan made them look most beautiful before the sons of Seth, as he also made the sons of Seth appear the fairest in the eyes of the daughters of Cain, so that the daughters of Cain lusted after the sons of Seth, like ravenous beasts, and the sons of Seth after the daughters of Cain, until they committed abomination with them. But after they had thus fallen into the defilement, they returned by the way they had come and tried to ascend the holy mountain, but they could not, because of the stones of that holy mountain were a fire flashing before them, by reason of which they could not go up again. And God was angry with them and repented of them, because they had come down from glory and thereby lost or forsaken their own purity or innocence, and were fallen into the defilement of sin. Then God sent his word to Yard, saying, These thy children whom thou didst call my children, behold, they have transgressed my commandment, and have gone down to the abode of perdition and of sin. Send a messenger to them that are left, and they may not go down and be lost. And Yard went before the Lord and asked of him mercy and forgiveness, but he wished that his soul might depart from his body rather than hear these words from God about the going down of his children from the holy mountain. But he followed God's order and preached unto them not to go down from that holy mountain, and not to hold intercourse with the children of Cain. But they heeded not his message, and would not obey his counsel. Chapter 21. Yard dies in sorrow for his sons who had gone astray. Remember, Jared's not something you can pronounce in the northern Semitic languages. So yeah, prediction of the flood, and this is 16 verses. After this, another company gathered together, and they went to look after the brethren, but they perished as well as they. And so it was, company after company, until only a few of them were left. Then Yard sickened from his grief, and his sickness was such that the day of his death drew near. Then he called Enoch his eldest son, and Methuselah Enoch's son, and Lamech the son of Methuselah, and Noah the son of Lamech. And when they were come to him, he prayed over them, and blessed them, and said to them, Ye are righteous, innocent sons, go ye not down from this holy mountain. For behold, your children and your children's children have gone down from this holy mountain, and have estranged themselves from this holy mountain through their abominable lust and transgression of God's commandment. But I know, through the power of God, that he will not lead you on this holy mountain, because your children have transgressed his commandment, and that of our fathers, which we had received from them. But, O my sons, God will take you to a strange land, and ye never shall again return to behold with your eyes this garden and this holy mountain. Therefore, O my sons, set your hearts on your own selves, and keep the commandment of God which is with you. And when you go from this holy mountain and to a strange land, which ye know not, take with you the body of our father Adam, and with it these three precious gifts and offerings, namely the gold, incense, and the myrrh, and let them be in the place where the body of our father Adam shall lay. And unto him of you who shall be left, O my son, shall the word of God come, and when he goes out of this land, he shall take with him the body of our father Adam, and shall lay it in the middle of the earth, and place in the place in which the salvation shall be wrought. Then Noah said unto him, Who is he of us that shall be left? And Yard answered, Thou art he that shall be left, and thou shalt take the body of our father Adam of the cave, and place it with thee in the ark when the flood comes. And when thy son Shem, who shall come out of thy loins, he it is who shall lay the body of our father Adam in the middle of the earth, in the place whence salvation shall come. Then Yard turned to his son Enoch, and said unto him, Thou, my son, abide in this cave, and minister diligently before the body of our father Adam all the days of thy life, and feed thy people in righteousness and innocence. And Yard said no more. His hands were loosed, and his eyes were closed, and he entered into rest like his fathers. His death took place in the 360th year of Noah, and in the 989th year of his own life, on the 12th of Taksas, on a Friday. Friday being sunset, Friday to sunset. I mean, sunset Thursday to sunset Friday. So yeah. But as Yard died, tears streamed down his face, by reason of great sorrow for the children of Seth, who had fallen in his days. Then Enoch, Methuselah, Lamech, and Noah, these four wept over him, embalmed him carefully, and laid him in the cave of treasures. Then they rose and mourned for him 40 days. And when these days of mourning were ended, Enoch, Methuselah, Lamech, and Noah remained in sorrow of heart because of their father that had departed from them, and they saw him no more. And I was raised LDS, and there's the talk of the Jaredites, and the brother of Jared. No name for the brother of Jared, just the brother of Jared, which is an odd way to say it. But chapter 22, only 3 righteous men left in the world, the evil conditions of men prior to the flood. But Enoch kept the commandment of Jared, his father, and continued to minister in the cave. And it is this Enoch to whom many wonders happened, and who also wrote a celebrated book. But those wonders may not be told at this place. That's also a device that the LDS Church uses, is that, well, there's some wonderful things, but we're not supposed to tell them to you. Yeah. Then after this, the children of Seth went astray and fell, they and their children and their wives. And when Enoch, Methuselah, Lamech, and Noah saw them, their hearts suffered by reason of their fall into doubt, full of unbelief, and they wept and sought of God mercy to preserve them and to bring them out of that wicked generation. Enoch continued in his ministry before the Lord 385 years, and at the end of that time he became aware through the grace of God that God intended to remove him from the earth. He then said to his son, O my son, I know that God intends to bring the waters of the flood upon the earth and destroy our creation. And ye are the last rulers over the people on this mountain. For I know that not one will be left of you to beget children on this holy mountain. And the whole Yima and the flood thing sort of parallels in that respect more than any. Neither shall any one of you rule over the children of his people, neither shall any great company be left of you on this mountain. Enoch said also to them, watch over your souls, and hold fast by your fear of God, and by your service of him, and worship him in the upright faith, and serve him in righteousness, innocence, and judgment, and in repentance, and also in purity. When Enoch had ended his commandments to them, God transported him from that mountain to the land of life, to the mansions of the righteous and of the chosen, the abode of paradise of joy and light that reaches up to heaven, light that is outside the light of this world, for it is the light of God that fills the whole world, but which no place can contain. Thus, because Enoch was in the light of God, he found himself out of the reach of death until God would have him die. Altogether, not one of our fathers or of their children remained on that holy mountain, except those 3, Methuselah, Lamech, and Noah. For all the rest went down from the mountain and fell into sin with the children of Pain. Therefore were they forbidden that mountain, and none remained on it but those 3 men. And I don't know if you can see the deer, but